TEDx talks usually start with statements. Since I don't like following the guidelines very much, I will start it with a question. How many of you have ever in your life drawn something on a school table or even carved your name on a bench? Raise your hands, don't be shy, come on. Everybody, I think it was everybody for sure. Did you ever wonder why? I did. I wondered a lot. So the only answer that I had, and the only answer that actually stuck as a logical, was that we all have an urge to leave our mark. So I was around 13 years old when I first felt that urge. And two of my friends came to me and said they started this new hobby, and they invited me to join. And if I wanted, they would give me a tool. And this tool, it was a black marker, very tiny and very dangerous. And I didn't use that tool wisely. First thing I did, I tagged my elevator, and I got in a big trouble with my parents. So I had to clean the whole place, the whole thing, the whole elevator. But that didn't stop me, of course, and I continued tagging everything I could and everywhere I could, and of course I continued getting in trouble. So I had to clean so many surfaces and so many spaces before coming to realization that I should change my name so nobody could know it was me. This is how I actually became a graffiti writer. Now, how many of you think graffiti is vandalism? Come on, don't be shy. I know you all think it. All those dirty tags everywhere around in the hall, the city, destroying the blank windows, the blank walls and whatever. I know that it's more of you, but I want to congratulate you, everybody, because now all of you just admitted that you're vandals too. Because drawing on the school table and carving your name in the bench, that's graffiti as well. So, you should all be brought to the face of justice. And for me, the justice has a different face, and we will try to explain it now. So, I changed, and now I got professional photos of me doing graffiti. Just kidding. But for a young boy who loved spending too much time on the streets, the graffiti, and of course loved doing everything that was forbidden, this little spark of creativity that graffiti brings was actually a lifesaver. It was the best hobby I could possibly have. It made me feel like the city was mine and like it was ours somehow, you know. And in 2002, my friend and colleague Aida, with whom I run a Gallery of Contemporary Arts Manifesto and FASADA Festival, came up with an amazing idea of a participatory and artistic experiment. It was an experiment in which we were questioning a space, public space, and people's behavior in the public space. So the question we asked ourselves was, what happens if we bring the street into the gallery? And what happens when we feel brave enough to make the cities and public space our again? We invited our friends, graffiti writers, inside Manifesto. We gave them markers, we gave them spray paint, and we gave them some beers. Of course, we told them that they can do everything they wanted. And just in one night, they destroyed the whole gallery. The walls, the ceilings, the floor, everything was tagged. But the experiment continued. For the next 7 days, we opened the gallery's door to random passers-by, gave them markers and spray paint, no, not beers this time, and we told them that they can do whatever they wanted as well, so they joined. After these 7 days, the experiment was ready to be presented to the public. Inside the gallery, again, we left some markers and some spray paint and some beers. The markers and spray paints were left just as an artifact, or this is what we thought. But for the people who came, those were actually invitations to start intervening into this public place. So the experiment continued. A lot of people came, my parents also came, my sister Nadia came. This is her in the photo with my friend Koga, and she never admitted to me that she's a vandal. And my mom, she's somewhere, I guess, I hope. Hey. My mom was also there, and she painted a flower inspired by my artwork. And you know, beer is not her thing. She doesn't drink beer a lot, but I still remember that smile on her face, like she was a little bit drunk, you know? And Mom, you are a vandal too, and you like it. Admit it to everybody. So what we did is actually we all reimagined the public space. And nowadays it seems like it only belongs to investors, the big construction companies, and politicians who actually give it or sell it to them. So now I will ask you one thing, you to wake up your imagination. Please imagine a city without a color, where everything is black and gray. Even the traffic lights are not green or red. Did you imagine? How does it make you feel? Horrible, right? Not so good. Yeah, I know. So now I'll try to impress you with some definitions I found, saying, a city is a permanent and densely settled place with administratively defined boundaries whose members work primarily on non-agricultural tasks. Cities generally have extensive systems for housing, transportation, sanitation, utilities, land use, production of goods, and communication. Impressed? Okay, now, the gallery is a space devoted to the presentation, production, and/or sales of art. So, can we combine these two? For example, a city is a permanent and densely settled place devoted to the exhibition, production, and sales of works of art. You think it can work? Art influences society by challenging opinions, questioning values, and transferring experiences across spaces and time. Research has shown that art affects the fundamental sense of self. Painting, sculpture, music, literature, and other forms of art are often considered to be a repository of a society's collective memory. Now I'll ask you to imagine another thing. Imagine every corner of the city covered in paint, every wall, every surface just covered in paint. And imagine every blank wall being turned into an artwork. Every park being a performance stage, and every square being a pedestal for an art installation or sculpture. And how does this make you feel? You imagined? Makes you feel better, right? Yes, it does. So, cities turned into galleries could have positive impact on society, not only on individual level, but the whole communities. And possible indicators of healthier communities might be public engagement, where cities as galleries would make art more accessible to broader audiences. Unfortunately, in our society, people don't usually visit galleries and museums. And those who don't encounter art as art that way could actually encounter it as they go on with their daily lives. And this increased exposure might open wider public discussions on important topics. For example, imagine a mural depicting a female struggle for it. This could be an opening line for public engagement and social change. Different neighborhoods within cities could develop unique artistic identities. Local artists would be creating public installations, murals, or sculptures that reflect the history, culture, and spirit of those communities. This could strengthen community bonds and pride. I can already imagine Grbavica being painted in these shades of blue everywhere. Making architecture great again. Now, architecture and urban design literally shape the way we live, the way we move and interact with our surroundings. Cities as galleries would make architecture free from careless investors. Instead of being just a transit area, urban spaces could become platforms for interactive and immersive experiences, created in accordance to communities' interests and needs, of course. This is something that we like talking about. Art revitalizes neglected or rundown areas, turning them into vibrant cultural hubs and meeting points. This could contribute to urban renewal and encourage community members to also take pride in their surroundings. For example, look at what happened in New York in the 90s, in early 70s when graffiti culture started, or what happened to Berlin in 90s or early 2000s, and even what's happening to Detroit right now. They all regain its shine thanks to lively cultural and artistic scene. City galleries could create an opportunity to showcase the rich tapestry of cultures within a city, helping us all to better understand each other. This is what we need, a lot. Because the world is constantly changing, and this change is faster day by day. It's not easy to accept those changes, but temporary art installations and exhibit and a dynamic and ever-changing art landscape could really help us easily adapt to new technologies, politics, and ideas. Now, public spaces transformed into galleries could serve as a didactic tools. Art can enhance people's understanding of different concepts, ideas, and theories. So, imagine a mural depicting geometrical shapes. I believe this could be a great conversation starter for geometry class, and I believe I wouldn't be skipping maths that often. Art-related events, galleries, and cultural festivals can contribute to overall economic health of a city by surrounding local businesses and creating jobs. So my question was, do we think art as an industry could actually provide the economy for the whole city, just as art as an industry? Unfortunately, I don't quite think so, but it could influence some other industries to grow, raising economic impact. So, for example, tourism. Cities with vibrant art scene often attract tourists seeking cultural experiences. Visitors spend money on accommodation, dining, transportation, souvenirs, all of it providing a boost to a local hospitality and tourism sectors. A developed art scene can create employment opportunities and contribute to a wide range of professions, including artists, curators, gallery owners, art educators, and even event organizers. And in the end, new markets. Art can really be a valuable investment asset, with prices often rising over time. So investors and collectors contribute to the art market, driving demand and creating wealth, not only for themselves, but for a broader community. Although it seems many of the impacts I have previously mentioned could be achieved separately, the truth is the change happens faster if it's led by one unifying vision. In a world that's more and more driven by greed, art becomes the perfect antidote. So what if the city was gallery? Look around you. With Manifesto Gallery and FASADA Festival, we're creating one right here in Sarajevo. And it might be the perfect solution we were wishing for. So, join us. Accept yourself and be the vandals again. Thank you.